Welcome back, folks, to Let's Replay Beneath the Steel Sky, and when last we left off, it doesn't matter how many times you try that, lamb, you're not going to be able to get down to Bellevue. Nobody can. The elevator is still on lockdown, and that's preventing us from getting to the ground level and getting out of Union City. We've still got to find a way to bypass that. The only place that we haven't been to up here that we can safely explore, we could try and explore the security place again, but we'll just get turned into a pile of ash, is the factory. And although Lamb doesn't want us in there, he's very distracted right now, so I'm sure he won't mind if we pop in and have a quick look around. We've had the misfortune of having an in-depth conversation with Lamb. He is not a nice person, and that right there is the understatement of the century. He is a nasty piece of work. But while he's too focused on thinking about how to word his complaint to the council, we'll just go in. You don't mind, do you? It doesn't matter if you don't mind, we're in anyway. We want this robot shell. The only problem is we can't do anything with the robot shell while the conveyor belt is working. We're ultimately going to have to sabotage the entire factory. And maybe we can do that using the console that Anita was stood at before she was transferred to somewhere else. Anita was both friendly and helpful when we spoke with her. Hopefully we'll be able to find her further into the factory so we can talk to her more. Maybe she can help us get out of the city. Let's look at this first.
The display is incomprehensible.
We could still mess with things though.
I don't understand it at all.
That means we can't mess with things. Never mind, maybe we'll find a way to stop things if we move further in. There's somebody we can talk to here, somebody busy at work who has a clipboard. There's also a way we can go further into the factory, and this room we can go into. There's a window we can use to look into it, some sensors by the entrance to that room, and there are some cogs. These cogs are open for us to mess around with, and we'll be doing that in a bit. For now, let's look at the window.
Looks through to another room.
Let's take a peek. In here is a gangway, a robot busy at work down there. There's a fuse box over here, and the way out of the room. Good to know. Let's have a look at the sensors. What do they detect and what do they do?
Some kind of scanner.
So they scan for something. And we can't do anything with the sensors. What about the cogs?
It's part of the mechanism driving the conveyor.
We're going to need to do something with that then.
Sure to lose my fingers if I put them in there.
And we can't do anything without using an item. Good to know. Let's have a conversation, shall we? I'm sure you can tell me lots of interesting things about the factory. Or at the very least, you might be able to tell me how to go down to ground level without using the elevator. Maybe there's a way in the factory.
Excuse me.
Hello. Let's ask about Overman first, though. Maybe we can get a lead.
Do you know a guy called Overman?
I don't think so. He certainly doesn't work here.
Fair enough. Let's talk to you some more.
Excuse me.
I'm sure you're not that busy. What about intruders? Any of them to report?
Any intruders to report?
No, sir. Hey, just a minute. Who are you?
Why, we're the safety inspector, of course.
Safety inspector.
Not again. If there's been a breach of regulations, see Lamb about it. He's responsible for safety.
He may be responsible for safety, but does he actually do anything to make the place more safe? That's the question.
Don't you get bored working here?
Well, not me. I like my job.
What's so good about it?
With this clipboard for starters. Look at the finish on that plastic.
Lovely piece of lamination.
Isn't it just?
I can tell you're proud of it.
Oh, yes. They don't make clipboards like this anymore.
You know, your sarcasm was almost undetectable there, Foster. Almost.
How do I get off this level?
Well, I hear there's been a crash. So access to High Green is cut off. You'll have to use the elevator.
While we can't get there, it's nice to know that the tower next to Erie Tower is called High Green. A little bit of world building there.
What can you tell me about the council?
I used to think they did a great job. But since they promoted Lamb, I've had my doubts.
I'd have my doubts too.
Never mind.
So there's somewhere that we can go this way. We still don't know what this person's called though. We'll find that out later. Let's see if we can go check out the rest of the factory, shall we?
Hey! You'll need a rad suit if you're going in there.
Hey, what do you mean? This one is totally rad.
I mean protective clothing.
Oh, Foster, any excuse for a joke, eh? Well, if we can't go that way, maybe we can go into here and see if there are any goodies for us to get.
Hey!
My mistake. Thought it was the John.
It's the storeroom, for robots only. Lamb doesn't trust humans to go in there, even though there's nothing worth pinching.
Robots only, eh? Maybe Joey can go and have a look in there. But let's see what happens if we try again.
Hey!
Sorry.
Is there any other dialogue if we try a third time?
Hey!
Sorry.
No, there isn't. Right, let's get down to sabotaging everything here. By using something in these cogs, there's only one thing that we can use that will jam them, and that is the wrench. Let's throw a wrench in the works, eh? It's not quite a spanner, but it'll do.
That's really put a wrench in the works.
Oh no! Production stopped! You wouldn't know anything about it, would you?
Me? Know anything about it? No! I wouldn't know anything.
The machinery looks outdated to me.
It's not that old. It was only built 30 years ago.
That explains why it stops, doesn't it?
Oh well, I'll pretend I didn't notice it.
You'd be surprised how many big machines in factories are very old. They build them to last. They build them to be exceptionally sturdy. But this one unfortunately was stopped by a single wrench, and Foster tried to use the joke that I did. I beat you to it, Foster. Too fast for you.
The cogs are wrecked, but the wrench is fine.
That wrench is made of sturdy stuff. Let's take it back.
I'll keep this wrench. It's really useful.
It is. Good luck trying to pretend that everything's still working when it isn't. I'm sure that'll work out fine for you. Let's see if there's anything of interest in that storeroom.
I want you to check out the storeroom.
What's the catch?
There's no catch. There could be something useful in there.
Don't count on it.
What's quite neat is that we can go to the window and have a look at what Joey is doing. There's Joey, going in and having a quick look around. Let's hope there's something awesome in there. Then again, something that's awesome is entirely subjective. Joey may not think that what actually is awesome is awesome. Looks like he's leaving. Let's talk about what's in there.
Find anything useful in the stores?
No, but there's a fuse box on the wall, connected to the alarm system.
Can you disconnect it?
Sorry, no can do.
Not right now, anyway. You'll be able to in a moment, though. Because now that the conveyor belt has stopped, we can do something with this robot shell. It's quite firmly attached to the base, though, but it won't be for long when we use the wrench. The wrench is going to be very useful, and no, not the sandwich. Let's not use the sandwich. Let's switch to the wrench instead. We'll just loosen this up, and then we'll give it to Joey.
I've loosened the robot's shell.
Would you like it?
Do you want a new shell, Joey?
I hope this isn't a wind-up.
I hope that's not heavy.
Excellent.
Interesting that it's got such a design that you could just plop it on top of the shell that Joey had, and it still works. Robotics is very advanced in Union City. Let's talk about the shell.
How do you like the new shell?
It's sleek. Can't wait to use the welder.
You be careful with that thing. If I want you to use it, I'll tell you.
Exterminate! Exterminate!
And cut that out!
Ah, there's Joey with the references. Now that we have the welder, we can do something about that fuse box. We just need to wait for Joey to get over here, and then we can have a look in here and see what we can get. Hopefully something useful. In your own time, Joey. There you are. Go and deal with that fuse box.
Go and disable the fuse box in the stores.
I could melt through it with my welder.
Wouldn't that be dangerous?
Very, but I'm feeling reckless. And welding is fun.
Take care, Joey.
Who am I to deny you your fun? Let's go have a look and see Joey at work. It's going to take a little while for Joey to get there. There Joey is. And I think Joey is done. Marvelous. We should now be able to go into the storeroom without activating the sensors. Brilliant. Let's have a look around, shall we? There are a few things that we can grab. WD-40, and there's a key. And there is, of course, the gangway. Let's look at the fuse box first.
Joey certainly made a mess of that.
Oh, that he did. There's nothing we can talk about here.
Never mind.
We can't get access to these though right now, but we can have a look at them. Or we can't because they're too far away.
It's a heavy metal flap.
Well, I bet we can move it. Yes, we can. And there was something underneath it.
It's a lump of gray stuff.
We've always wanted a lump of grey stuff. Let's grab it. And let's have a look at all of these now that we can get closer.
Lubricant. This stuff is always useful.
That it is. We'll grab that. What about the key?
It has Bullock printed on it.
If we find that place, key might be useful. Let's get Joey to analyze all of these things. After all, we may not have them for very long. Give me an analysis, Joey.
Give me an analysis, Joey. I think it's putty.
You're wrong. That's plastic explosive.
Either way, it's going to be useful at some point. What about that key?
Give me an analysis, Joey.
It's an intricately cut key, Rob.
It may have had something else in it, like a microchip, but no, it's just a key. Finally, WD-40.
Give me an analysis, Joey.
Lubricant? You can give me a squirt of that anytime.
Let's have a look at them as well. Can't hurt. The putty-like substance is soft and plastic. The key has Bullock stamped on its shaft. The can contains WD-40, the all-purpose cleaning and lubricating liquid. Now it's time to leave with all the things that we found, and put them to good use.
Don't move. I have to search you.
Oh dear, looks like we're in some trouble.
What for? I'm not a criminal.
It's the supervisor's orders. If anything's missing, I get the blame.
Hey, that tickles.
Open up that coat. Why are you carrying that crowbar?
It's got sentimental value. My mother gave it to me.
Is that a wrench?
I carry it for luck.
You're a walking toolbox. Blimey. Smart shades.
You can have them if you like.
Really? Oh, I could fix them with sticky tape. Is that a can of lubricant?
Yes. One squirt is just the job. I'd never be without a can of lubricant.
You are now. 'Cause that can is mine. What the hell is that?
It's a sausage sandwich.
Can I have it for my lunch?
You're welcome.
You nicked that tea, didn't you? Thank you for your cooperation. By the way, that sweater you're wearing.
Don't laugh at my sweater.
I'm not. I think it's brilliant. Will you swap it for my clipboard?
Not in a million years.
So, a character has seen the sweater, but we haven't yet. But also, we've lost a fair amount of our inventory. We now only have the putty, the ID card, the wrench, and the metal bar. We didn't need all the items that have been taken away from us, so we don't need to worry about that. Still, it's a shame that our inventory is a lot lighter now. Let us leave, shall we? Lamb's not really going to comment on the fact that the top part of this robot is gone. We can have a look at the chassis.
I almost feel guilty for stealing its body.
Almost. There's nothing we can do with what's left. So let's go. And let's do something about that cable. We have a welder now. We could do something about that. Though we won't be able to get the cable just yet. There's Joey. Do you want to do some welding? I bet you do.
Fancy doing some welding, Joey?
You bet. I want some action. Who's the victim?
You can't go using your welder on people.
Oh yeah? Who says?
Asimov's laws of robotics.
That's fiction, Foster. It's just something some guy made up.
It's sound moral sense. Anyway, what I had in mind was that cable.
This sounds like a job for Captain Welder.
Off he goes. We'll go recover that another time. Also, if you want a bit of reading, look up the laws of robotics. It's very interesting. There's nothing more we can really do here, but there is something that we can do back in a place where we found a puzzle, but we didn't solve the puzzle. We have to head over here. Joey will catch up. Now notice that this security guard is now gone, so if you wanted to go back into here, you can. We're going to head over here, back into this room, and when we come back, folks, we have to deal with this puzzle. There's something that we didn't do before, but we'll do it now because we want that light bulb. We don't just want the light bulb either. We want to do something with this control panel that will allow us to get access to the other levels, or at the very least, one of them. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.